I hear a lot around campus, about this campus in particular, that this school, Tacoma Evergreen campus, offers an interdisciplinary education. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Well, the college, that is the pedagogical foundation at the Evergreen State College, is interdisciplinary. That means that you're not learning history in a silo, nothing else. No literature, no mathematics, no science. I was just reading an article in the New York Times Review of Books about a woman, Henrietta Lacks, whose body has supplied the material for scientific research. Something like millions of studies have been done using this woman's body, her body material, after she died, of course. And so Johns Hopkins and other places have been using it. Now, how can you teach bioethics without teaching history? It doesn't make sense. There was a time, you think about the Tuskegee experiment. You've got to contextualize that.
Yes.
And that's science.
Yes.
That's science, that's history, that's math, that's sociology. And so that's what interdisciplinary studies means. The student learns about phenomena from a truly broad perspective. That is, and here at Evergreen, we gear that around a theme. And so the theme becomes the title of the class.
Right.
And then the faculty approach that theme from their disciplinary points of view.
Right.
And that way, you learn how to do synthesis work, you learn how to think critically and analytically, and you learn content.
Right.
So from various perspectives so that it makes sense. There's an old story, it goes like this. A student from a traditional institution, I'm using that term very loosely because Evergreen has become traditional, but from a traditional point of view says, goes for a job. The employer says, well, we hired you for this, but can you do that? And the student from the traditional institution says, no, I can't do that. I wasn't taught that. My area of concentration is whatever it is. An Evergreen student will say, I've never really done it, but I think I can figure it out. That's the difference.
Right. Here at Evergreen, we are going for our bachelor's in liberal arts. Can you tell me how, explain a liberal arts degree and how it's useful to the student?
First of all, most schools offer more Bachelor of Arts degrees than Bachelor of Science degrees. I mean, there are only two little tracks you can go down. And we believe at Evergreen that a liberal arts education that fits in with the disciplinary question you asked offers a student a broad perspective on the world of knowledge rather than this siloed approach. You know, I have my degree in biology, natural science and biology. Or I have a concentration in biology with a Bachelor of Arts. That means you've studied philosophy, you've studied history, you've studied science, you've studied sociology, you've studied anthropology, you've studied bioethics, you've studied law, political science, you've studied all of it. That's what it means. And so a liberal arts degree is in many ways a liberating degree, because a liberating arts degree because it moves you away from this kind of calcified notion of knowledge. Knowledge is always changing. The thing to do is to learn content, yes, but to also learn how to think.
Right.
Because if you're stuck in some calcified understanding of phenomena, it's a pretty bad position to be in. And so the liberating arts, or the liberal arts, provide the students with an opportunity to just understand knowledge in a way that is constantly changing, that is not just siloed and concretized, but that is palpable and always changing, just like your heartbeat. You get sick and your heart doesn't say, hey, I got to stop and slow down,
right.
because then you're dead.
Yeah.
Just like some education is just dead. But the heart is beating, and so the ability to think critically is always beating. And you can accommodate new knowledge as it comes to you.
Wow. One last question, Dr. Young. I think you already answered this, but I'll phrase it in a way to end this off. Why would you suggest? What would you suggest for students who want to get into Evergreen, to this Tacoma campus, and what is the future for this campus, in your opinion?
And first of all, let me take the last part first.
Sure.
The first part last. This campus has within its ambit outstanding possibilities. There was a woman who was publisher of a black newspaper here in Tacoma, Virginia Taylor. It was the Northwest Dispatch. Virginia's idea was that the Evergreen State College Tacoma campus would become the Columbia University of the Hilltop. What is occurring is that the Evergreen State College is the Harvard, the Columbia, the Morehouse, the Howard, the Fisk, the Hampton universities of the Hilltop. It's here. We are unique in our niche here in Tacoma. We provide an education for those students who wouldn't ordinarily think about continuing, many of whom had already given up, some of whom had almost given up, but others who said, I will not give up. And so we take you all. We start with where you are. If you're having problems with math or writing, we provide infrastructure support so that you can rise up to the level that we need. We cannot continue to throw away our citizens if they don't qualify for admission to one university or one college. We must open the doors to higher education if we, as a community, a city, a state, a nation, are to survive and thrive. The Evergreen State College, quite frankly, in my estimation, is the savior of the Pierce County greater community, because we're educating all our people who come to our doors.
Well, thank you for a very passionate interview, Dr. Artee Young. Thank you.
You are more than welcome. I've really enjoyed talking with you this morning.
This is Dominic Hoyt for We the Students Television and Dr. Artee Young. Thank you.